Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 54.
Awesome.
You're going to hear a little bit of background noise. Mr. Awesome is downstairs doing something to his truck, and we're directly above the garage, so he promised to
There's some thudding.
try not to make it sound like, people are storming the castle. But anyway, I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les.
I'm Laura, also known as Lala, and we know you're here for the prizes.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to just go ahead and get that done first
Yeah.
and out of the way. So those of you who don't actually care about us can just go on your merry way.
So the way that we're going to do it is Laura has got her iPhone and she's got a little random number generator thing. There were 698 posts, and so what we're going to do is I've got all of the posts pulled up on my tablet. Got this thread on my tablet. Laura's going to generate a random number, and I'm going to look up that post number, and whoever you are, you're going to win the prizes.
And we'll say the prize first. How about that?
Yeah, and we can show it too if we want.
So we have 100%. This is the one that I want. So if you feel that you don't want this prize, I'll be happy to keep it. It's the 100% Wool Miza Petite Poison number 5 in the dark. And random number says 287.
Oh goodness. All right, y'all have to give me a second.
So 287
is Wool Pierogi.
Yay!
Her comment was, "I love your faces and want to hump your legs. Congrats on the anniversary, ladies."
So there's Wool Pierogi. I'm going to write that on the back. Actually, I'll do that as we do the next prize. So the next prize is Shea Cat markers in the purple and clear lot.
It's hard to see them. I apologize. Maybe
They're right there. Okay. And a random number says 652.
Oh goodness.
Says Leslie's doing that. I'm going to wear Wool Pierogi on the back of this.
652 is Mellow Cat, and her post says, "Thanks for such an enjoyable podcast." So Mellow Cat, you have some stitch markers.
Yay!
The next prize is the
Diabolical
mohair lot, and this is pink, purple, and blue. So these are very Easter colors with Easter coming up.
And random number says 381.
All right, let's go to about that one and see if that's right. I'm guessing at what page. Oh, I was wrong. Let's go 2 more. 16. 381.
381.
Go.
Like lightning, little tablet. Like lightning.
That was too far. I'm sorry. Go. There we go. All right, we're on the right page now. 381 is Pink Noof, Pinknewf. Her comment was, "Spending my afternoon home from carpal tunnel surgery, vicariously knitting with L&L. Y'all are extra funny on Darvaset," which I bet we are.
I'm also going to write down the number on these two just in case. That way. See, I'm trying to be
The next
awesome.
prize is
Malabrigo Worsted and Ravelry Red Lot. There's 2 skeins of that. And random number says 470.
Okay, let's go to that page and see who 470 is.
In fact, I think I'm just going to write the numbers down. That'll make it easier.
470 is Mrs. Rob Elkin.
Oh, cool. I met her in virtual knit night last night.
It says, "Next to Rivalry, video knitting podcasts are the best thing that has happened for knitting in my opinion. I really look forward to each episode. Love your energy. Congrats on your anniversary. Y'all are knitting rock stars."
Yay!
So
that's awesome.
This is the prize that I would have stolen from you. This is another Crafty Girls grape jelly.
Oh my goodness, that's
And
lovely
worsted.
stuff. Where are we throwing these?
Over here.
Okay.
All right, so what's our random number?
Okay. Random number for the next thing was that, wait, now I'm confused.
That's this one right here.
Okay. So that's the grape jelly worsted.
Mhm.
253.
Okay, let's go to about number 12 and see if that's about the right page. Oh, one wrong. Okay. 253. Pull up, pull up, pull up.
I might get like a couple stitches down.
I know, like in between each one.
That would be awesome.
All right, let's see. It's loading, I'm sorry. 253 is TB McCarthy, happy anniversary. Thanks for the chance to enter your wonderful giveaway. Only found you guys recently and love you. Keep podcasting.
Yay!
So, congratulations, TB McCarthy.
Okay, the next thing is the Knitted Geek Sport Weight in the Rockstar colorway.
Oh, that's this one. I'm supposed to be showing y'all process. I'm sorry. And this is a sport weight.
And it goes to $3.97.
Okay, so let's go to about page 16, I think. Yep. All right, $3.97 is TAJRW. Love you guys. Thank you so much for a fun podcast.
Yay! I like her
I do
avatar
too.
a whole
She's
lot.
making a little finger guns.
The next thing is the Jelby stitch markers. Love these.
Yeah, I'm not going to take them out of the bag, but there's a big puffy felted one and then some freshwater pearls.
And it goes to $2.62.
Okay, let's go back.
Y'all get to see the lovely crack in my iPhone case. That happens sometime this weekend at CampKIP. Who knows?
Yeah, it was before we got to CampKIP, and there was much freaking out.
Oh, because I thought I had cracked my iPhone screen after having it for less than a month.
I was eating, and she's like, "Can't you just take that apart real quick?" She ended up figuring it out. What is it, 262?
262.
That is CSNDRE. Happy anniversary. Love the show. Thanks for all your hard work. Looking forward to future episodes. This was her first post. So how do you like that?
Yay! That's so cool.
So you win a prize with your first post. Congratulations.
All right, the next thing is Patty Waters' pattern from her.
And you'll just email her and tell her you were a winner, and she'll give you one of the patterns from her shop.
And it's 99.
Okay, that one is easy.
That's
to
the
guess.
year I graduated high school in.
You have a bunch of people going,
And some younger ones going, really?
God, you're old. Oh, it's Piddaloop.
Hey, it's Jen.
She says, happy anniversary, you too, much love.
Awesome.
So Jen gets a pattern from Patty Waters.
And we have 2 more of those. Those are our last 2 prizes. 437 is another one of those.
Okay. Oh, God. I'm so bad at guessing this. Okay, let's start with that one and see if that's close. Ooh, that was way too far. All right, let's go to number 20. I'm sorry.
That's cool that you can pull. I never knew you could do
I
that
think
in
it's
Ravelry
new.
before.
It's Casey. He's got perfect timing. You can now jump to whatever page
Oh,
you
cool.
want. So Casey's pretty awesome. I'd steal him from Jess and Howard. Not, but
437.
okay, sorry. I gotta
See
focus.
how I'm getting her back on task.
Oh, this is River City STL. We met her at
Mhm.
CampKIP. It says, love the podcast. I'm always excited when it starts downloading. See you at CampKIP.
Yay!
So she has won a prize as well.
Okay,
so
and
last prize.
the last prize, which is the last Patty Waters pattern, goes to 503.
Okay, let's go to, it's going to be that one, 503. Let's see who's 503. That is Mundenang, Mundenang. Sending love from Arkansas. I found the podcast when I was living in Italy. Thanks for all your hard work.
Yay for Arkansas. That's not too far away.
So those were our first prizes. We hope that you guys enjoy, and we're going to tell you how to enter the next contest at the end of this episode, unless you want to do it now.
We can do it now.
Okay.
So, because that'll get them thinking as they watch us today. How about that? Leslie and I have been having some issues finding patterns for some yarn. And we've
Well,
been having issues
Let's
thinking
clarify
about,
that.
okay.
We have so many things that we want to knit. We're having problems narrowing down what we should knit next.
There we go.
So why don't you show them what you want, and we'll talk about what it is later,
Okay.
but just...
So this is the yarn that I'm really looking for a pattern to go with. It's hand spun. It's 115 yards of a chunky. We'll talk about that in spinning.
So if you have a pattern suggestion for her, then that can be your entry into this week's
And just to
thread.
revisit the rules for the contest, there will be a thread started in the Ravelry group.
I'll start that as soon as we finish recording.
And in that thread, you're going to post a pattern suggestion. Please do not put Starving Artist or Starving Beret. Please do not.
So one entry
Leslie
per person.
might kill me if you do.
One entry per person, any country, doesn't matter where you are.
Yep.
Um,
You have to be a member of the group.
Yep, you have to be a member of the group, and you have to do it between the time that we open it and around midnight-ish next Saturday
I
night
locked it this morning.
before we lock
Yeah.
the thread. So what I need is when Megan, Crafty Pancakes, came and stayed with
So
me
pretty.
last December, she brought me a present because she's awesome, and it's Hazelnut's Artisan Sock, and it's in the Cherry Fizz colorway. And it has been calling to me from my stash ever since she brought it, and it's just saying it wants to be knit into something. It's 400 yards of a fingering weight, and I want to knit something out of it, but I don't know what. So give a suggestion.
Can you narrow it down at all? Would you prefer a shawl or socks?
Not a scarf. I don't like knitting scarves. Socks or a shawl would be probably what'll work with this weight.
A hat.
I'm open to pretty much anything though. So
But there's only 400 yards.
400 yards.
So
of
kimono
fingering
won't
weight.
work.
Unless you want to buy me the rest of the skeins to go with it. But yeah, so that'll be what I need pattern suggestions for. So either one or both, whichever one you want, but only one entry. And we'll do the drawing again next week.
Let's talk about prizes for next week.
Oh, yes. So
You put them
I
over
put
there.
it down.
So we wouldn't get confused. I'm going to put these ones up here.
So we have 3 more Patty Waters designs.
Yep.
don't have all
Kitty
the
Y
others.
and Distant Love.
That's Perfect Day Yarns and Distant Love.
Elusive Thread, which was some spinning fiber and 50-50 merino tinsel blend.
So that's from Nicole's Farm, the mohair locks.
I guess
10
we're getting rid
ounces.
of both of them. Yeah, both spinning go this week. 10 ounces of mohair locks. Crazy Zabra Ball. Why am I flipping these upside
I
down? There's no good way to do this today. Malabrigu worsted in a rainbow lot.
Yep. Another set
Shake
of the Shake
Hat
Hat markers.
markers. Some more diabolical brushed mohair. Volmaizen, the 100% were different. Fiber Nymph in mint chocolate chip self-striping.
Another one I wanted.
And then Sarah Monte's one free pattern.
She's a designer on Ravelry as well.
Awesome.
So those are the prizes for next week. And I just did want to say that for everybody that left a comment this week and had something nice to say, I'm going to tear
there
up
was
thinking about
no
it.
not nice things to say,
It was
but it was
really,
awesome.
and I'm going to favorite that thread. Whenever I'm having a crummy day, I'm just going to go back and read it because it was really nice to hear from all of you guys. And as much as I'd love to say every single week you need to say something nice, you really don't. I mean, that's why we need something different. So,
Yep.
all right, now we're 11 minutes into the show, so let's go ahead and start talking about our regular items. So works
in progress. I am working on the log cabin border of, not that y'all can see it, of the Mitered Crosses blanket. So I have a finished one down here. This is the one that I finished last week. So I finished the 4 miters that go in the middle, and I just started the first green edging, and that's it. I want to show y'all how much yarn I have left, but only if I can find my bag. Ha ha ha. I finished the mitered squares with this much left of the contrast color, which is the color that's this. If you read the pattern, these ones are all supposed to be different. You can do whatever, how many skeins you want, and then these were supposed to all be the same with the outside. Well, I switched that because I wanted to use Cascade 220 on the outside. So these middle sections, I got 2 squares worth out of 1 ball of Noro Silk Garden, but only with that much to spare. So if you're a loose knitter or a tight knitter, or you don't get the gauge that I get, you might have to get some more yarn. And then next I'm going to use this pretty
Dark
one.
green.
It's dark greens and blues. It's number 252 for another 2 squares. I still have a good bit left of the outside portion just because I'm not using it for the log cabining. And that's on size 6s US. We didn't print out the little sheet again, but that's okay. I'll put it in the show notes.
Full
That's what I
fail.
did last time. We're forgetful monkeys. And then my Nama Nama socks. You'll see that the needles are out. That's because while we were at CampKIP this weekend, I finished the first one. Mine look much different than Leslie's because I stopped the pattern at the heel and just did ribbing. But,
She just does what she wants.
just did ribbing for the foot. Because I wanted to see how the yarn would stripe in the ribbing, and I love how it's doing that cool
So
striping
you
effect.
finished one of your socks.
So I finished one of my socks.
Are you going to try to finish the other one before we see Nama?
I'm gonna work on it before we see Nama. I'm gonna cast on the second one today. So there's that. But I have another project I want to finish before we go to stitches, and that's one that I cast on today.
She cast it on today, but she wants it done.
Well,
by time
here's
we
the
go.
deal. I'm really excited to see Nama. because I love her, but then we're gonna meet someone new,
Mhm.
which is Kitchen Sink Dye Works. She doesn't know that I'm gonna stalk her until I meet her. So last year at Stitches, my friend Kathy got Kitchen Sink Dye Works Luxe Merino Fine, which is a fingering sock weight. It's wool, cashmere, and nylon in the
very
Dexter colorway. And I had given her money and told her that I wanted her to go to this specific booth and get something for me, so she did. And I decided that I needed to cast this on so I can show her when I go back this year.
That you're a real stalker.
That I'm a real stalker because I'm knitting with her yarn. That, and it's nice to get things out of the stash before you go the next year.
Yeah.
So this is the Gaynor pattern by Picnic Knits. I just started it. So I just got through all the setup rows and I've done 2 rows of the actual pattern. And it's a sideways shawlette. So I'm really excited about that. I got this pattern when we did the Love Train in December on Plurk. Basically what happened with that is I was having a crappy day, someone bought me a pattern, then Leslie bought that person a pattern, and it started this giant, like, we must buy other people patterns and
awesome,
have a great time.
Sometimes you'll not buy something for yourself, but you won't blink at spending $4 on somebody else for, you know, to cheer them up. So it's always fun. I like it.
It was very cool.
And the little tap, tap, tapping that you probably hear, I'm sorry, that's them doing something with lug nuts downstairs. I don't know, something with a tire.
I can tell you what size these are. These are size 5s. They're signatures, and they're 3.75. I can tell you that because it's written on the needle.
Printed on the needle.
I've actually, on the signature note, these were a very long cord. I think this is the 40-some inch size because I wanted some with a longer cord for when we review them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was worried with doing something this small with a long cord that the cord would get in the way. But because the cords are so flexible and they rotate without getting caught, it's been actually pretty good. And they haven't been curling up a whole lot. So that's pretty awesome too. I've been enjoying that for the 10 minutes I worked on it this morning.
So that you could get an inch or so in there.
Yep, and this is one of my piddle loops. It's cats and sweaters. I felt like I had to share that one. I don't think I've shared that one with y'all before.
I don't think you have either.
Cats with sweaters.
I like that.
They're super cute. And then last but not least, at
Jesus,
Camp
are we
Kip.
still on your...
It's all about me. I worked on the pie shell some at Camp Kip. Leslie's like, you can't tell the difference. Why are you still showing it? But I got through almost the second repeat of the pattern. It's almost done.
Of
so
which?
This is 4.
With
Part
which
4.
section?
Do you like how I keep my patterns all scrunched up in the bag? So this is Shetland Pie Shawl. This is part 4. You're supposed to repeat it, the chart D, 6 times, so that I'm almost through the second repeat. And I just put it aside because I couldn't get through it while talking to people, and I wanted to talk to people. So I'm actually on row 7 of the second repeat of chart D, in case y'all are curious. And then it's only 8 rows, so then I'll do the 8th row, which is just a straight knitting after I finish this one. And I'll be done, and I'm knitting that on size 6s, US. Which I'm thinking is 3. Yes, I'm done. And that's on my Knit Picks Interchangeables. Now I'm done.
I'm using my Knit Picks Interchangeables also for a log cabin square. This is out of the Liberty wool that we talked about. Classic. It's a classic elite yarn. And what is the content on this?
Wool.
Is it only wool? That was my
100%
question.
machine washable wool.
It feels a little more like acrylic to me than it does here.
Because it's machine washable, do you think?
I don't know, but it feels a little bit
feels
more
like
like
wool to me.
acrylic to me. But I'm not crazy about how the colors are working. It's just not my specific colors. But it is knitting up pretty quickly, so I can't complain too much. But this is all that I've gotten done since last week. In fact, I haven't touched this until we started recording since Sunday, I think, because I've been working on other things. So this is what
We're
I'm
both
doing
log
now.
cabining today.
Yeah, it's easy. It's garter stitched. I don't really have to think about it. So that's
We
what I'm
love
working on now.
Mason Dixon, is what that is.
Yeah, well, the finished product is going to be lovely. So the other thing was we were getting ready to go to CampKIP. It was Thursday night. Well, actually, I think it was Wednesday night because we left on Thursday night. And I was talking to Laura on G-Chat and said, I can't pick anything. Pick something for me to take to knit.
Because she had finished something else.
So what she decided I needed to knit was Magrathea, which is a pattern from Martina Bem. This is her third in her Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. And it's an interesting construction. Let me pull it out and show you. It's one that I haven't knit before.
So the other two in this series are Trillium and
Hitchhiker.
Mm-hmm. So you may have seen those before.
And it's in my Pitaloop.
And your Pitaloop made a friend.
Yes.
It was the same Pitaloop at
There
camp.
was another lady at camp who had the same Pitaloop, and Laura has the same Pitaloop. So what I'm using to knit it is my Cloud Lover hand spun, which is a 3-ply fingering. I had about 504 yards of it, and it was in 2 separate balls. This is what I've got left of the first ball, so I've made some progress. And this is what it looks like. Let me unfold it here.
You've made a lot of progress on that, I hate to tell you.
I spent a lot of time tinking this at CampKIP because I would get, a repeat ahead and realize I had totally messed something up, so I had to start over. So this is what it looks like now. This is one end of the triangular shawl, and then you knit across with the edging as you go. So this is what it looks like right now.
That's pretty.
I'm really liking how it's striping, well, sort of striping, and the edging is a very simple 8-row repeat. So I'm not quite halfway. I'm probably about a third of the way through it.
That's really pretty though.
So I'm enjoying it quite a lot. I'm knitting it on my my size 4 signatures, which are 3.5 millimeters. But yeah, I made pretty decent progress on it. But again, I did spend a lot of time tinking because I was too busy jabbering on and on.
We had a good time with everyone.
We'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Finished objects. Are you done with your...
I'm done with my Nama socks. One sock I did correctly, one sock I did not, because I wasn't paying attention. I got overconfident and didn't reread the pattern. I just missed
No one will be able to tell.
a purl stitch all the way down. So these is what they look like, and then again, this is the Lunch with the Knit Girls yarn in Nama Nama. I believe that this Friday, April the 15th,
It will be
update,
available.
They will have some in the usual base.
And that pattern will be free with a certain amount purchased.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. It's 75 or 100.
If you don't get Nama Nama's newsletter and you're interested in getting Nama Nama yarns, I highly recommend that you get her newsletter. I don't get it. I just get Leslie to forward it to me.
And then she deletes it. She's a serial deleter of email stuff. But anyway, it's got a really cute Eye of Partridge heel on it, and I like that a lot.
Mine does not, because I can't read directions while at camp.
So they're done, and I'll wear them next week when we go to see Alan. Oh, I have another FO. I'm like, I know I had something else. So secret knitting that we haven't been able to talk about. Laura and I both designed a pattern for the CampKIPers.
We did. We got to use
Turtle Girl. It's Turtle Pearls, Soft Shell Turtle Toes yarn, which is an MCN blend.
I'm getting out of my goodie bag.
Yes.
This. And it's gorgeous.
Yes, it was really nice to work with.
And it's really nice to work with.
They're really
this
soft
is
hand.
the Kipping at Camp colorway.
And this is what I designed for her. It's called Litmus Lace. And litmus, I believe, is a test of acidity or base. And anyway, it's kind of like a test, so to speak. And so
it's a quick test.
The idea was to test whether or not you liked shawlettes. And this is up for sale on Ravelry now. And this is what it looks like. I should have blocked the ends out a little tighter, but anyway, it's nice and warm. And if it wasn't so warm in here, I would be wearing it. But people seem to like it, so I was happy. And I had some amazing test knitters. So I wanted to say thank you very much to my test knitters, because there were errors and they found them for me. So we both have some really great and very
we do
responsible test knitters. So.
And I list my test knitters on the project page.
I should go back and do that. So what about you?
So my finished objects is the other design for CampKIP. They are the Little Bit socks.
And
they're named that because there is a little bit of lace and a little bit of cables at the top. And then there's a cable heel flap. Let's see if I can get that closer for y'all. And they are one of those knits that I'm going to reknit because I think they're great for variegated yarn. You have the little cable detail. But the rest of it is just ribbing. And it just shows that little detail, I think, makes the yarn just stand out.
Actually, you had 2 or 3 people who'd already cast on for them by the time we got to
camp
on Friday.
It's so cool. And these are actually going to be Mother's Day presents for my mom. So that's where these are going. They're going into the box.
You're so ahead of the game.
I'm trying. I'm really not, but I'm pretending like I am.
Well, you are with your mother.
Okay, I am with Mom Knitting this year because I've got her birthday socks and now Mother's Day socks done.
Do you want to talk a
Christmas
little bit about
to
your
go.
spinning before you start knitting again?
Sure.
What you wanted to
I
pattern
finished
suggestions for?
some Gale's art. It's 115 yards. I had shown y'all the singles for this last week. This was the fractal spun. And I love how it came out. So it's fractal spun with a long draw, so it's nice and floofy and puffy and perfectly balanced.
It is very pretty.
And
actually.
I cannot wait. And the cool thing about fractal spinning is because you're doing long color segments on one and then short color segments on the other, you do get the same colors some places, like right there. I don't know if y'all can see that. There's that pink that's the same color. But then it quickly, let me follow that thread around if I can. I might not be able to.
This is going to end in disaster and
It
tears.
will. Then it pretty quickly transforms into something else. So it's got the blue with the pink.
I'm impressed that after spinning thinner for so long, you were able to spin it pretty well balanced. Bulky.
Thank you.
It's not an easy thing to do.
I've been playing with bulky spinning lately. I don't know. Maybe because, I don't know, I've been feeling like bulky. Also, I'm trying to use up some stash so that I can buy more stash.
Because your deal is what?
I have to spin 2 pounds before I can spin more. This gives me 1.5 pounds since I made that deal with myself. The Knit Girls Roving is on my bobbin right now. I'm almost through the first half. I'm doing a fractal again. So I'm almost through the first half of the long color segments. And I'm about to start the second half. So that'll give me 1 pound and 3/4, another pound. So I don't know if I'm gonna make it in time for stitches.
Just get the next on the wheel.
Okay,
and
well,
then
will it count if I get the next on the wheel?
Yeah.
Alright. So I'm almost there. And that way I can buy more Gale's art.
Because she's going to be at
definitely someone I want to check out at Stitches.
Yeah.
She's on my list of, do you want to talk about Stitches real fast?
Well, we can, yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, we're already talking about
we're
it.
going to Stitches. We're leaving as soon as Laura gets out of school on Friday.
Yep.
So around 3:15. And we're going to haul ass.
Because we want to make it in time for the pajama party.
Yeah, so we met Kimberly, who's Somebody's Love, and she works for XRX, and we got to talking to her, and she asked if we were going to go to the pajama party, and we thought that it was earlier than it is, but it doesn't start until 10, and we should be there by 10.
We're really hoping.
Yeah, so we're
We
going
might have to eat in the car again.
Yeah, so we're really going to try to get to the PJ party. I don't have any cool slippers or pajamas.
I have sock monkey slippers that I'm going to wear.
But I just want to go to spend the time with people, so... but yeah, there are a few vendors that I'm really excited about seeing. Gale's Art is one of them. Kitchen Sink Dye Works is another one.
Those are my top 2.
And there are a lot more that I just don't have the memory to recall exactly what their name is. So, but I do plan on walking around and trying to chat up some of the dyers and crafters. And
We're going to take our video camera with us.
so if you see us, stop us and say hello.
And then we can record you saying hello.
Yes, and then you could be on the show.
Yay!
So
Kind of like the CampKIP video, which if you haven't already seen, there is a CampKIP video from
Yes.
last week.
I love y'all so much that as soon as we got home, I uploaded all the footage and worked on editing and tried to make it look decent and threw it up on the site. So it's up on the site and it's on iTunes. So if you want to
And
watch
there
it,
are
you can.
antics.
There are antics, although the really good antics we apparently missed and didn't get on camera.
Yeah, that's alright though. What happens at CampKIP stays at
That's
CampKIP,
what I'm
as we were
told.
told.
So I do have some spinning as well. Last week I showed you guys the singles
Ooh.
for the wool gatherings.
I forgot that you applied
And
that.
I applied it that night because I was just, you know, you get in the mood where you just don't want to work on anything. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to apply this stuff. So I applied it, and it ended up being 368 yards of a fingering weight, and it is very, very well balanced. And it was actually very well balanced before I even soaked it. I was really impressed. And it's the Navajo
I love how
plaited.
dark that is.
So the colors stay together really well. I'm going to put it up a little closer for y'all to see. The colors stay together really well. So it's about 368 yards. I could probably get a shawlette out of it. I don't want to knit it just yet. I'll probably save this for summertime. But I'm really, really happy
that
with how
just
it came out.
screams fall to me. Fall
So-
and winter.
Wool Gatherings has some awesome fiber. This was BFL, I think. And I have another 4-ounce little bump of it of a different blend that I'm going to spin, but probably not until May, because I have some other stuff I want to get on the wheel first. And also last night, after I put up the footage, I was having another one of those I don't feel like knitting what I have on the needles things. So I spun.
It's been a lot lately.
I spun the first 2 ounces of Tempted, and I'm actually purposely spinning this thicker, and I'm using some lessons I'm applying some lessons I learned in Anfield's class about treadles versus how much that you feed in per treadle. So what I did was for every treadle I fed in 2 inches of around 2 inches of fiber, so it gave me kind of a fingering, maybe kind of a light sport weight single. I finished this bobbin last night and most of this bobbin last night and finished it this morning. So I have all 4 ounces spun up.
Cool. Look
And
at you go.
I would have plied it, except I wanted to let it rest and be a good girl. So I'm going to apply that probably tomorrow morning, since I didn't finish this until this morning. I may do it tonight. I'm a rule breaker.
Cool.
But purposely spun it thicker. I don't expect I'll probably get more than 150 yards out of it. So I might be making the
I bet you will.
arm warmers.
I bet you will. I bet you get. We should have a guessing game.
Yeah, I guess.
If you haven't met Leslie and I before, like on our way to CampKIP, I was like, I bet you. Well, I asked her, how many people do you think are going to comment about how tall I am?
Yes, because in reality, Laura's almost 6 feet tall.
And
I'm
Leslie's
5'3".
5'3". So I was like, how many? And you said how many?
I said 5 and you said 7, I think.
And we
ended up being
had 4 or 5.
So.
And Paula said it multiple times.
So anyway, this I spun for the spin along, and actually we have some video of, God, I've forgotten her name, I'm so terrible, but she was spinning on a lindrum.
Was it Mary?
No, it was something with an R, but I can't, Rachel maybe.
Rachel, I think that's right.
She was spinning the fiber there, so I videoed a little bit of that. But so to all you people who have gotten really creative with this fiber, that's awesome. I can't wait to see what you guys knit out of it.
I'm enjoying that thread immensely.
Yeah.
You can tell I got back from CampKIP because I was like, post, post.
Yeah, because I had like 22 unread in that thread, and then later that day it was like 47. Ugh, Laura's home, so it's kind of like how Bob, Stacy's husband, you can tell when he gets home because all these posts from the morning have "Good evening, ma'am," or you know, "Hope you had a good day." So
that's funny.
That's my spinning.
Awesome.
So now we can go back into favorite things, which we've been dipping into as we've gone.
Periodically, it just flows better that way. We have a book review. It is Little Crochet.
Yes, I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm terrible.
Now, Leslie's the crocheter in this relationship. In fact, I purposely pretend that I can't crochet to make her do stuff, if you haven't seen us before. But there are some cute things in here that made me want to learn to crochet.
So this is a Pottercraft book, and Pottercraft sent us this to review, and it's called Little Crochet. So it's all items that are kind of focused on babies and children.
And it's adorable.
So as you can see, there are a lot of things that we want to talk about.
There is a video that goes with this book. I saw it on Susan B. Anderson's blog, and she's got a video that goes with her new book. And I'm loving the book trailer idea. I've seen that more and more, especially as a librarian with middle school and kids books. Love that, and I'm so glad
it kind of gets you
that
invested in it.
yeah. And I'm so glad, and you get to see the projects that that's transforming over to the knitting world.
So we like that in the contents you can kind of get at a glance what you're going to be looking at.
So the page of contents is actually 2 pages, but it has a picture of the projects beside the name.
So it's a really easy way to see, oh, I wanted to look at that sweater. Oh, okay, it's right there.
I want to do baby booties for this upcoming shower. Let me see where that is.
So we did want to, just as a general thing, Laura noticed that they have a lot of different weights in here. It's not just worsted weight. It's not just fingering. It's very varied. It's varied.
And it varies between companies as well, which is another thing that I love about this book.
So
it's not all Rowan, it's not all classically, it's totally separate companies.
This is kind of a different take on the granny square blanket. It's got lots of different shapes in it, and actually there's another picture that might be a little bit better. Yeah, here we go. So you can see it's got kind of a pinwheel shape, and then one that's sort of a rounded granny square. So I like that, and you can use up bits and bobs. You know, that's a good scrap project. And they have very good diagrams of how things work. So here's an example. They have good diagrams of how the stitches relate to each other.
And very clear charts as well.
It's a very pretty book. There are lots of pretty little details in it. All right, let's see what the next one is. Oh, love this.
This is maybe my favorite thing in the book.
This made me think of Becky instantly. Becky is Lemon Half, and that's Laura's sister. This little birdie mobile for the crib, look at how cute that is. And how fast would that be? Because they're just little bitty pieces, and you just, you know, oh, I love it. And it made me think of Becky.
I love how the colors.
And it would be very easy to kind of customize.
Oh, yeah.
This Laura really liked. This
It's
is
so cute.
a little girl's dress. And you can see it's got the little embroidery pieces on it. It also shows you how to do the
embroider, which
pieces.
is very important for me because I have no idea how to embroider.
So there are diagrams down here that show you how to get those whip stitches or whatever they're called.
Daisy, embroider lazy daisies.
So I crochet, but not often, so I don't know some of this stuff. Actually, that's not really crochet.
That's embroidery.
Laura
I
liked
like this because it's a combination of two different crafts. It's crochet with sewing.
And I don't think I could ever do it, so I'm more hesitant about it. But yeah, it is super cute. It's just
And
a
I
little
bet
bit of
you
crochet.
it would be super fast because it's crochet, which
It's a little
my
teeny bit of
understanding
crochet.
is faster anyways. For me, it's much longer than knitting, and then it's sewing, which is pretty quick.
Yeah, this is pretty standard. There are lots of these patterns out
Cute
there,
little
but not.
pants.
I don't see a lot of crochet ones. They're just little like longy pants.
And on the next page, she does this periodically throughout the book. There are color subs, so you can see how it would look in a different colorway.
Yeah, and they do it like Laura said for different companies. It's not all one specific company that you can tell, you know, paid to be put in the
Cool.
book. This and the next one kind of make me think of the February Baby, but in a crochet, so it would go a lot faster than February Baby.
Just the shape of it.
So we like this one.
Very
that
cute,
one's the swing
this
set
swing
cardigan. Let's see.
I like the next one
This
even
one.
better. The
This one's
ribs
the
cardigan.
Of course, I love the baby. The model is adorable.
Yes.
And the
I
next
tell you what,
page.
Potter Craft, if nothing else, their books have the best models and the
Photography.
best white space photography.
And see, this is a good picture of the detail on the back. So, and again, more very clear diagrams on how the stitches relate to each other, which I think is something that some crochet patterns and books lack in, and it's hard to kind of understand how, you know, certain crochet chains on the hook don't count. And anyway, I like that this kind of addresses that. And this one,
I love this.
This
This
is
reminds
Laura.
me of like a Little Red Riding Hood. Totally could see my niece in that.
and this is a Noro.
It's a Nora sock weight,
Mhm.
so I thought that was very cool.
And it's the sizing on these are also very generous. Normally it's between newborn up to 4 to 5 years,
And this
depending
one's
on the pattern.
6 to 12 months, up to 4 to 5 years. So you have a wide gap. So if you start it and you're like, oh crap, that baby outgrew that already, you can always keep going or rip back and start over.
This is cute, and it looks like it would actually be pretty simple. It's an owl pillow. It's basically just rows of double, or it might be double crochet, you know, with a circle. Yeah, it looks like double crochet.
They also have
circles
skill
in.
levels listed on each pattern,
Mhm.
which is very helpful for people like me
For people like you.
who don't crochet.
And this is cute too. A lot of these are just the pictures sell the whole thing because of the emotion in the little baby's face. It's super cute. So we've got the little baby giraffe, and I think there's a better picture of that. Yeah, here we go. This is a better picture of it. So we've got the little baby giraffe toy pattern. And at the end, they have a really comprehensive technique section. It's like
With illustrations
10 or 15 pages.
that are very clear.
Yeah. And she also references lots of helpful websites where you can see videos
Further reading.
and communities where you could get assistance. So I give this 2 thumbs up. I actually started something out of this for my friend Alicia's little girl, but yeah, I haven't had much time. So, but I think that this is a really, really good book, especially focused on babies, and it's more of a modern book for crochet, in my opinion. The patterns
It's definitely
are
not
updated.
granny crochet book,
Right.
and there's a lot of patterns that we didn't show you in there as well.
Because we don't want to show the whole book, because then you should just buy the whole book. But it's very well laid out. The design is really nice, and the photography, as always, is top notch with Pottercraft. So I like this one a lot, and this one's staying.
I like how the letters on the side are in different colors.
Oh yeah.
That's cute. That would draw attention to it on my shelf.
Mhm. I like how pretty it is and colorful.
Cool.
So that's our book review. Laura's doing her little
Check.
studiousness.
We
So-
want to talk about CampKIP.
Yes, we don't want to rub anybody's face in it that didn't go, and we apologize if it comes across that way, but we really had a good time, and we want to be able to thank the people who kind of put it together. Jackie did an amazing job, and Tammy,
Of course.
Sparkly, I know was an invaluable assistant to her this weekend. So,
but
she
it was
awesome.
running behind Jackie, making sure that she was on task.
We met a lot of great podcasters there, and a lot of great viewers and listeners and people who hadn't heard of us, which is totally, is awesome to kind of get in to have a conversation with so many people, and everybody was awesome. You could have sat down with anybody.
Oh yeah, and we tried to mingle as much
as
as we can. I know we missed some people, and I wish we could have been there the whole time.
It was hard being a day passer because you don't get as much time with everybody.
That's very true.
So, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
And the s'mores were delicious, and the food was delicious.
And the outlet, or the place.
The venue?
Venue, there you go. Everybody was considerate and helpful, and can't give it enough. It was a really fun time. She is going to do it again in 2012. I don't have details yet. When we have it, we'll pass it along. But
this is the t-shirt.
Yes, Laura's wearing
sporting. I came home and threw everything in the washer and dryer so that I could wear a nice, clean s'mores t-shirt for you today.
And it says CampKIP, what s'more could you ask for? So that's Jackie and her little quirkiness. But,
so we did want to show you what's in the goodie bag and what we bought, because there was a market on Friday, and y'all know we bought some stuff.
Well, we're supporting the local craftsmen.
Okay,
that's my story.
This is my goodie bag, and it's this cute little bag, and I took out all the buttons on the back and put them on the back, and there's a lot of different podcast people, obviously, who are there. There's the TheKnitGirlls, Abstract Fibers, put a button in the goodie bag, Outlier, Keeping It Real, the Knitwits. So they were all there, as well as a ton of other podcasters. So I'm just quickly going to go through some of the cool things in the goodie bag.
Samples.
Little samples of fiber. A very cool CampKIP water bottle.
Everybody had these when we got there on Friday. They were all using theirs.
The lovely turtle pearl yarns,
which was what the patterns were both designed in.
Some cool t-shirt yarn. I think I'm going to do like a little washcloth out of this.
Yeah, that would be a good use for it. I hadn't ever seen this t-shirt yarn before this event, and they had it for sale there as well.
Lots of samples
of
different
little
stuff,
bits,
like Lolo bars,
Scentsy.
soap nuts, buttons from Knit Picks, all sorts of cool little things.
She got some really good sponsors.
There were some stitch markers that I thought were very cool. Goldie socks, etc. They're little stitch markers. They're square shapes, which is cool, as well as circular, so I can't wait to try those out. A bouncy ball, which I was like, why is there a bouncy ball in here? And one of the podcasters has their card in there, and so when you've been knitting a long time and you need to relieve some stress,
massage,
you can give yourself a little massage with this bouncy ball. That was kind of cool. Knitters, XRX put the new issue of Knitters in there. There was Leslie's and mine's pattern. I know that's not correct grammar, and I'm just going to roll with it. And then Osterman put an Elements book in there, and I'm actually going to donate mine as one of the prizes.
Okay.
For later.
So we'll put that over with the prizes over there.
So that's going to go
I'm
with
so
the prizes.
glad y'all can't see the floor of this room. I just need to tell you that.
But there's lots of cool stuff in here.
Yeah.
The Knitmore girls put in a tape measure, which is so cute.
Yeah. It's because you can't have enough. I mean, no matter how many you have, they just run to the corners and you can't ever find them. So.
Speaking of tape measures, we need to talk about that if you have yours.
I don't have mine.
Okay, we'll talk about it next week.
We found an awesome new tape measure vendor, so we'll talk about her next week. I assume it's a her.
Yeah.
So anyway, we had a really good time there. We met so many nice people. We had a few of them on the little clips, but I spent too much time talking and not enough time taping.
Yeah, we didn't tape.
So I'm sorry.
Our intent going in was, we're going to set up and we're going to have people come by and they can talk, and it's like, we just wanted to talk to people.
Yeah, we were too busy, so sorry about that. We'll try to do better. I had a class with Anfield last week. We haven't talked about.
We didn't talk about what we got at CampKIP, what we purchased. How about we do that?
I was hoping to breeze right past that.
So people couldn't see how bad you were?
Yeah, something like that. So, okay, I'll show mine. I've got
some fiber.
I got some fiber. Well, I got something I've been wanting to get forever, but you're going to talk about, you got the same thing.
We got the same thing.
I've got some Frapjust fibers, which I have some of it in the stash and haven't ever spun, but we're going to pretend like I don't. And it's called Caravan. It's in really pretty different blends of blues, greens, and reds.
And it's different blends of types of blue face luster. So there's a dark blue face luster. It's called I think it's tricolor.
Tricolor BFL.
So it's 3 different colors of BFL that's been dyed. So
and we'll
it takes
say
it a little bit
that's
different.
why I got it, because it was so unique.
There you go.
Okay. And this one is spun silver, and Jackie has talked about spun silver before, and I've been meaning to try. Well, finally I got some. She had some 4 ounces of a cranberry colorway.
That's really pretty.
And I liked it.
And
quite
I got
a bit, so
actually
I got
from her.
some of this.
I'm interrupting today. I'm so bad. Leslie and I both got little reps per inch tools.
And they're from Carrot Sticks.
And we love carrot sticks. We'll link to her in the show notes because she's got an Etsy store as well.
And we both already have needle gauges from her, and I use mine all the time.
And I got another one because I was listening to Knit More Girls, and Jasmine was talking about how she keeps hers on her keychain, which would be smart to do. So I need to start doing that. I don't know what keychain I'm going to put it on. I think it might be weird if I put on my work keychain.
I don't need more stuff on mine. That's the reason I don't have anything on mine.
But I do need this for when I go places because it goes up to a size 4. So for lace and for sock weight needles, I think this will be helpful.
Yeah, and Carrot Sticks makes great quality products, and they're always reasonably priced. So, and that's not all I got. I'm supporting the local vendors. So there was one lady who was selling a bunch of bits and bobs. I got some Nora Silk Garden. Looks like some were partial skeins, but it was only $10 for 2 skeins, and I'm using Nora for my log hat. And then I got, this is from Saltwell Farms Alpaca. It's 100% alpaca, 200 yards of it. It looks like it's, what would you say, sport, light worsted?
Yeah.
Maybe a DK. Somewhere in that family. Anyway, it's a beautiful natural brown color.
It's pretty.
It'll be a winter item of some sort, but it's very soft, and it's definitely next to the skin soft in my opinion. And I got some black Surrey alpaca.
I didn't see that.
It's 4.8 ounces. So this is one of the little bumps of it, but the fibers are nice and long, so it'll be really easy to spin. And actually, I got this because in Ann Field's class, she had a garment where one ply was black and one ply was a very colorful yarn, and plied it together, and it looked gorgeous. So I thought, well, next time I see some black fiber, I'll grab it. It's going to be boring as hell to spin, but
that's a really cool idea.
yeah, it'll be a neat finished product. And my last thing that I got, which is a really ridiculous purchase to make, but I bought it anyway. The same Saltwell Farms. Well, in that same booth. This one is www.alpacacoop.com. They have these socks that were machine knit, right? So here, they're huge, right? And they're machine knit. But on the inside, they're so fluffy and filled with
they're like nubby
alpaca down. When I get super cold, these are what I'll wear. And they're not machine washable at all. I asked her that and she laughed at me. But, but they're huge. So they'll be my winter when I'm really cold and can't get warm socks.
That's so funny.
But then they're like $22, so I'll probably have these for the rest of my life. So there was something I was willing to spend a little bit of money on.
And then at that same booth, I got some soap. I got some cranberry vanilla peach soap because y'all know I love the handmade soap. This comes from Sycamore Valley Alpaca Farms, so I'm excited. It smells really good to get that. And then a little booth around the corner, I got
Mama Zuma. It's all tangled. You messed it up. You broke it.
I break everything.
I love this kind of aquamarine, sort of bright.
So I got her Nanu, which is a superwash merino. She had some silk that I was lusting after. It's 356 yards. It's sock weight yarn. I think it's going to be a shawl of some kind. I haven't decided yet.
A sea-themed shawl for that,
I think so too. Maybe, doesn't Wendy have the
Seaside
chalette? I might do that out of here. And it's the Mama Zuma hand knits. Let me put her tag up there. And the colorway is called I'm a Dreamer.
It's very fitting for you.
So, yeah, I thought so. It was cute. And actually, I didn't make it all the way around. I just snatched this one up.
Yeah, that's the way it was.
Because typically, I try to walk all the way around
before committing to anything.
Before buying anything. And, no, because there were people at that booth, and they were picking stuff up, and I was like,
Yeah.
And this was the last color of, there was only one skein of this colorway, so I was like, I gotta get that.
Yeah.
So I did. And that's it for me for purchases.
That's it for me for purchases too.
Awesome.
I am going to Stitches. I have a specific shopping goal in mind, and I think that that's probably safest. Now, again, all bets are off at the 2 booths that I've already mentioned. But I got a new pattern, and this is from one of my friends on Plurk, and I think that she's also an LSG, and I know she's
I love that.
So her name on Ravelry and Plurk is Jesh, Jesh, and this is her newest pattern, and it's called Lead Light, and it is a cardigan that's color work, steeked, and it's so symmetrical, it makes me so happy. So this is what it looks like.
I think the pictures on the back might actually be close up.
I think that's why I put it that way. But I wanted to mention the sizing on this thing goes all the way from 31 inch, and this is bust, of course, 31 inch to 55. That's a huge
size
range of sizes. So, and there you need, let's see, you need 1 main color, and then you need 3 accent colors. And these are slightly better pictures of what it looks like.
Fingering weight, correct?
Yes, they're all fingering weight yarns.
So at Stitches, you're going to be looking for
3 kind of jewelry colored fingering weights. Not that I don't have plenty of those here. And also I need a 1 main color of a fingering weight, which I might go with like a charcoaly gray or a really...
So approximate yardage that you're going to need for each of the 3 accent colors, you know? It looks like you wrote it down.
About 190 yards of each accent color and about 820 yards of the main color.
Cool.
But again, this was like, I don't know, $6 or $7, and it's the the range of sizes is amazing.
It's gorgeous.
And again, it's called Lead Light, Leadlight by Jesh, and this is what I'm going to make my big summer project, I think.
So when it comes to, I've lost my knitting. There we go. When it comes to fibers that are easier to steek and work with steeking, don't you want natural fibers?
You do, although what she has knit this in, I think, was a superwash, which was okay because she used a sewing machine for the steeks to reinforce the steeks, I believe. I probably will look for a natural fiber, but if I can't find one, it's not a big deal. I feel confident enough that I can use a sewing machine for the steeks. But we'll see. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Whatever kind of calls to me is what I'll end up getting, and then I'll figure out how it's going to work later. That's the way it is with me. But really great pattern, and I'm supporting an independent designer. So, that's going to be my big summer project.
I think I added that to my queue last week. It's pretty. I can't wait to see what else she designed. She's one that sometimes you have designers that you want to keep your eye on, and she's one that I want to keep my eye on.
And she's got some designs out already. This is my favorite so far. This is the one that I saw and was like, I've got to make that. So, and some patterns are like that.
Obviously, I have designers I like because I stalk them.
Crazy stalker.
I know.
So,
anyway,
we do have another thing we wanted to talk about, and that is something that Shannon Oki is running.
Okay.
And this is Cooperative Press. So her company is Cooperative Press, and their goal is to help independent designers centered in the craft world get their feet wet in designing and publish their works, whether it be books or what have you.
And I saw her at TNNA, and they had a booth there, and so like Annie Modset, I think, put out a book with them. Shannon Oki's put out a book. There's there's some great new books that are coming out, and so when it comes to independent presses and independent designers, that's where my heart is. I love to support people who are doing stuff. I mean, I'm saying
they're trying to support the independent crafters in some way. And what she's trying to do
making a book is not cheap.
Oh, at all. And that's why she's asking for help. So her initial goal was $5,000, and that was met in the first week, which was amazing.
And she had amazing prizes up as well.
We've signed up for one of them, but we're not going to say which one. And her new goal, essentially, if she can get $25,000, then she's going to be able to publish pretty much everything that she's got on the line right now, and it'll be a good way to let the banks know that she's serious, she can get what she needs to get. We'll link her in the show notes as to where it is because it's a really long, I can't really say the link because it's too long. We'll just link it in the show notes. But Cooperative Press, Shannon Oki, her Ravelry name is KnitGirl, KnitGirll. You can find her through there if you want to find it before.
And you can find Cooperative Press online.
You can search
they have a website.
The Cooperative Press fundraiser. So I think right now she's at like $7,300, and she
Cool.
would like to raise as much as she can in April. So if you were willing to support Shannon, who's trying to support independent crafters, then go there and do what you can. Every little dollar helps. So
That's very true. All right, you want to talk about Ann Field?
very, very quickly, I took a class with Ann Field this week. It was fantastic. She gave me a compliment and said, I have a lovely hand at spinning, and I will remember that forever. But we did a lot of just samples. We spun up, I had to spin something in the grease. Oh, God, I'll never do that again. I very much respect people that can, but it's not for me. So I had to spin like a really fluffy, halo-y, fuzzy yarn. But I was lucky. All my skeins there came out pretty well balanced, and I spun a Rambouillet, which had like 20-something crimps to the inch. It was really, really fine. But you can still see they've got like vegetable matter in them, even after I tried to pick it out as I was going. So I spun a bunch of sample skeins, and I've got little worksheets on how to do things. So I'm going to try to...
Are you going to do a notebook? Like, are you going to buy a 3-ring binder and keep all that stuff together?
I have one, yeah. Sorry, I haven't shown it to you. But yeah, it was a very excellent class. She was a really good teacher, and she always fills the time with anecdotes. It's really nice to hear her talk. Her studio that she's been in for 20-something years got destroyed in the Christchurch, New Zealand earthquake. But even so, she's so just happy and positive, and it really helped her teaching. So I really enjoyed Ann Field. Can't speak highly enough about her.
I'm getting more and more jealous as I sit here and listen to her talk about it more and more.
So now you know how I feel about TNA. I was so bitterly jealous.
I'm like
of
going to
Lauren's
cross
TNA.
that off the list right now.
With a big marker. That's all I had to talk about.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
I wanted to talk about someone lovely that we met at CampKIP, and that's Paula, the Knitting Pipeline podcast. I actually called my sister on the way here, and I was like, if you're not listening to this podcast, you need to be.
She's amazing.
She's amazing. She does amazing work and has amazing finished objects. She does an audio podcast. She talks about nature.
She also corresponded with Elizabeth Zimmerman, so she'll read one of the letters that she and Elizabeth that Elizabeth wrote to her. So there's just all these little bits that make a really excellent show. We listened on the whole way back. We listened to a bunch of her back episodes that we'd already heard, but we decided to listen again.
Oh, of course. Because we'd spent some time with Paula, and when I went a little bit fangirl, there was one person that I knew I was going to go super fangirl on, and that was going to be Paula, because I've never gotten behind on her podcast. I love her. I love listening the way she speaks. Just, podcasts they're different for every person. Every listener.
It's all about personality, really, with audio.
Does something.
You have to enjoy the personality. Paul's got a great one.
Yeah, I think that's true with video too, but we could do a whole segment on what makes an awesome podcast in our minds, because we listen and watch podcasts as well as y'all, so we're listeners and watchers as well. But Paula is awesome, and she's gonna start doing knit along soon
with Quince and Company.
With Quince and Company,
which is amazing.
Y'all saw those 2 skeins that I got. Paula dumped out a bag, and I was like, I could roll in that.
Yeah, that might be a little creepy.
I just met her, but I want to steal her yarn. And she had the notebook of some of their patterns. And she does a great idea when she travels. She has all her patterns in a notebook that she carries with her,
which
is
very well
really
organized.
Cool. She's very well organized. I'm not as. They all get dumped onto my Kindle, and I'm like, I think I have that one on the Kindle, but she's awesome. If you have not listened to her podcast, I suggest giving it a try.
And again, we met a ton of podcasters, so we were able to spend the most time with Paula. So we're not trying to single anybody out, but. She was the person we were able to spend the most time with, but everybody was there. I mean, there were people there that I had been talking to them for 20 minutes, and then I was like, oh, I know who you are, so it was a lot of fun. And again, once we have details on next year, we'll fill you guys in. And I think that's it. We're almost at an hour. It's a little bit insane.
Okay, we gotta go, because it's almost an hour. So you can find us on Plurk,
Twitter,
Ravelry,
our website, The Knit Girls, Facebook. Thank you very much for the most recent iTunes reviews. If you haven't had a chance, please go and leave us at least a star rating, but a written review is great, and not only for us, but for all the podcasts that you enjoy.
And it makes our day.
It does, because we check it, once or twice a week to see. And we just found out you can change your country.
That's a good thing to say. You can change your country in the bottom right-hand corner.
There's a little flag.
There's a little flag, and you can see reviews because they don't all get dumped in.
Only the country where you reside, those are the reviews that you see. So we clicked and saw, a bunch
Canadian,
of Canada, Germany,
England.
UK.
It was very cool. I felt bad because Sadie left us a review for a sweet review forever ago that we'd never even heard of. By the way, Sadie sent us stuff. I have to give you some.
Oh,
she made me promise that I would give you some.
Sadie is Blue Ruin on
Yarnivore, who has the best. I really think she's got the best logo of any podcast
We're
out there.
deviating from the goodbye.
We are. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.